What's up guys, I'm Oli, welcome back to my channel. On my channel I make various videos about living in Rio de Janeiro, living in South America, so I'd invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button so you don't miss any of my new videos. It is finally here. This is my updated version of the cost of living in Brazil. However, I'm no longer in Belo Horizonte, I'm in Rio de Janeiro, and that's why this video has taken a little bit of extra time, because I needed to spend a whole month here in Rio to actually give you a fair idea about my cost of living here in Brazil. So I want to say thank you for being patient, and thank you for so many views on the other video. And yeah, this video is going to be an update with exactly how much I spent in a month and whether I could live here in Rio de Janeiro, the second biggest city in Brazil, on $650 a month. But before we get started, I just want to let everybody know that cost of living is subjective. It totally depends on your circumstances. If you're earning more money, then you're going to be spending more money. You'll have more disposable income to spend on things like restaurants, eating out, and transport. If you're on a middle income like I am, then you probably don't have as much money to, spend on restaurants and things like that. And then obviously if you earn a little bit less, then the money available that you'll spend is not going to be as much. So before people jump in the comments and say, oh, I can live on this, I can live on that, people can live on this, people can live on that, I understand it's going to be different for everybody, but this is my experience, and if you're in a similar situation to me, then yeah, you might agree with me, or you might not. So let's compare what I thought I would spend in the video that I previously made to what I actually spent. So if you saw my last video, you knew that I made the $650 a month plan to spend as my cost of living in Belo Horizonte, and I just want to show you the difference between Belo Horizonte and Rio de Janeiro. So we've got Rio at the top, and a single person estimated monthly costs are 2,413 reais, which is $431, okay? And then you can see that Rio is 8.5% less expensive than Sao Paulo, whereas Belo Horizonte, down the bottom here, is 12.33% less expensive than Sao Paulo. So there's kind of a 4% difference, right? So rent is 20% lower than in Sao Paulo, whereas rent in Belo Horizonte is on average 41% lower. So what I'm expecting from the results is that I'm probably gonna spend more money than I would have in Belo Horizonte, but I'm still confident, based on the monthly expenses, that I can still spend less than $650 a month here in Rio de Janeiro. So with that said, let's go down and check what I've actually spent. So because the real fluctuates a little bit, when I first made this back on the 1st of February, $650 equaled 3,550 reais. So we've got a little bit of extra reais, which is also pretty cool, but that's fine. And also we're obviously in the second largest city, not the third largest city. And just for context for everybody, at the moment on the 18th of the 4th, $10 is 55.89 reais. If you saw my last video, I grouped together the expenses, what I thought I would spend. So we're going to try and keep this as normal as possible and go through it here. So my living expenses were a little bit different. Because I'm in Rio now, it's only slightly a little bit extra, 175 reais extra, which is $30. So it's a little bit more expensive than I was spending in Belo Horizonte, with double room, an ensuite bathroom, whereas here I have a really small bedroom. I'm in a very modest accommodation here in Rio, but it's a really nice accommodation. So you expect to pay a little bit more, but it's not that much more in the grand scheme of things. So the rest of the numbers are going to be in dollars, because the app that I used, I recorded it in dollars. So just to keep it, I don't know, normal, okay? So in groceries, I actually spent less. I think if you watch the last video, I say that I thought I should have spent more money here, but I managed to only spend $136.17. And I'll show you right now a picture of my weekly shopping and what a grocery store is like. So you can see with restaurants and ordering food, I spent a little bit more. If you compare that to the groceries, I'm $30 under there, and I'm $30 over here. It kind of has balanced itself out a little bit. So I guess me not spending as much in the grocery store allowed me to order food and go out to restaurants. So transport is $29.10, which is about $11 more than I expected. And that's just me basically getting an Uber to different places, maybe to the beach or something like that. I don't feel comfortable catching trains and buses here in Rio. So for me, an Uber ride could be anywhere between, $2 or $3 and $4 to get to the beach. So I'm prepared to pay a little bit extra on Uber. And as I said, I work at home, so I don't have like extra costs to get to work and stuff like that. I didn't spend anything on shopping, so that is fantastic. Drinks, I spent a little bit on drinks. So I spent $51.93 on drinks, and I'm not surprised there. I do love a beer, and as I said, I like drinking a beer watching the sunset, so this makes sense to me, really. One place that I particularly like is Motogioja. I think I've definitely butchered the pronunciation there, so I'll show you a picture of that now, and it's a great place to go in Rio and drink beer as the sun sets. So I consider splurge as anything that is like, I don't know, going to get like a coffee from the shop or getting a snack. So this is snacks, and it also, my power and electricity went out. So I had to get like I had to go to a co-working station last month. So in saying that, I only spent $23.87, which was quite nice. Yeah, so I'm quite frugal with my money, especially like living at home, like, and working at home Monday to Friday. I don't really have that money that I need to spend. So it's a nice way to try and save a little bit of money, not spending money on things that you don't need. So I changed emergency to health plan and gym because like when I first did this, I didn't have a health plan, and I wasn't going to the gym. So I thought this would be a nice way to do this. So in saying that, my health plan is $70. And the gym is $21 a month. So I spend $91.71 on a health plan, a private health plan, and a gym. Health insurance is free for Brazilians and foreigners under SUS, which is SUS. However, given the current situation, I think it's pretty good if you can get a private health plan. Mine's local, so it's state-based, and obviously you can get international health plans and travel plans, but it's a lot cheaper to get a health plan. And the private health insurance system here is pretty good. I haven't had any problems so far. When it comes to leisure, I consider this to be like going out for a bike ride or, you know, maybe doing an activity, playing tennis or something like that. And actually, I only spent $8.17 doing this. So I don't know why I put $54 for this, because I obviously wasn't going to be that much. And, you know, the $8.17 is literally just like renting a bike and going for a bike ride. Yeah, I guess I overestimated that. And then I've got leftover there. And I guess the leftover is where you could call the emergency. And once we calculate all these numbers here in this column, then we can decide on how much is left over for the emergency. So funnily enough, all of these numbers added up together equals $620. So I guess I've got $30 left over for the emergency. So technically I have lived on $620 in the last month. Obviously, I think I probably need like an extra $100 or $150 left over in this emergency in case like something did go wrong, or if I was to commute to work. But this is my situation that I'm currently living, and these are my expenses at the moment. I think it would be interesting to do another video when things open up and I'm out and about a little bit more, because I think like this number would be a little bit more. I think I could cut down on a few things, maybe like, you know, ordering food and stuff like that, and groceries. You can see that like my rent, groceries, food are my biggest expenses. Obviously drinks, because I like to drink. But yeah, it's definitely doable, and I know that people obviously live on a lot less, and I know that people live on a lot more than this. So let me compare it to what this website Numbeo says. So they say that a single person estimated monthly cost in Rio is 2,413 reais without rent. So if I minus my rent from the $620, I can live on $2,490. which is $445.54. It's actually not bad given how amazing Rio is, and like it's just pretty cool. So yeah, I can live on $620 a month. And after this video, I'm going to show you exactly the breakdown of my expenses on the app that I use, which I think is awesome. And that's it. I imagine that once things start to open up and things go back to normal, that the cost of living here for me in Rio might go up a little bit, maybe $100, $150. But I think this is a pretty accurate indication of where my money goes. If you watched my video about living in Santa Cruz, then this is the kind of similar example that I had. So this is kind of my style of living and how I like to spend my money. So if you're similar to me, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next video.